A very good morning to you watching Westnile Television, and thank you very much for joining us this morning. My name is Denis Oringi and it's KOKOLIRIKO Live on Westnile Television, and today happened to be Wednesday, 19th of July 2023. I am not alone in the studio this morning. I have my colleague, senior journalist, award-winning journalist. He works with Westnile Television. You have been, following his stories whenever we have Nile cast, and he is the gentleman by the name Dramadri Frederick right here. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining me this morning.
All right,
thank you very much. So, dear viewer, he's a gentleman that we shall be able to have a discussion with him this morning. There are a number of issues that we shall be discussing from journalistic perspective. You have to know that we have been covering a number of stories, and sometimes when it comes to giving you the stories, we tend to focus on the story angles that one is pursuing. But there are bigger stories also behind, the stories that are sometimes being produced. And so with me I have him, and he will be making sense of some of the stories that he has been able to cover, so that you get to understand into detail what are some of the underlying issues in these stories that he has been able to do. All right, a quick one, and thank you very much. I think it is your maiden appearance for KOKOLIRIKO Live on Westnile Television since you joined the television, and so maybe a quick one from you. What is your experience for the time that you have been reporting for Westnile Television?
So it is my first time to come for this show, and I really appreciate you for at least. My name is Dramadri Frederick, as you introduced, but the stories we tell, just like you said, they are real to what people expected us to go with. This is because we don't have enough time to at least listen to a story, because everyone who is viewing us, it's not that you'll be only waiting to listen to that one story. Their interests coming from different parts of maybe someone's mind. So for this, we have limited time to air some of these stories. So many times we pick that which informs maybe a certain policy, which affects some people, and so on. This sets the ground for someone to at least understand what we are reporting about, but the underlying issues behind that, we could not now bring them all into whatever we are doing. Yes. All right.
Thank you very much for giving us that particular insight. But dear viewer, you have to know that there are a number of issues that we shall be discussing, and these issues will range from issues to do with education, issues to do with politics, and also issues to do with issues to do with business as well. And so we are here, and these are some of the great minds that are behind the newsroom of Westnile Television, that we try to do our best to see that we bring for you the story that you get to understand, and what are some of those issues that you need to understand into detail. Let's start a quick one on the issues to do with Arua district and Arua city. It is coming to 2 years down the road that Arua district has not moved to its designated headquarters that it is supposed to sit as I talk right now. Currently Arua the district operates within Arua city. What has informed that decision of Arua district not moving away from Arua city? Maybe a quick one from the interactions that you have been able to have with the district leaders and also the city leadership.
Dennis, it looks like a joke, but this is serious. When the issue of separation started, this was in 2020, when the parliament pronounced itself on the creation of the three entities separating Arua district, Arua city, and then Terego district. So when this pronouncement was made publicly, there were issues to do with the sharing of assets. Then there were issues to do with who is to go where should we be. Especially for Terego district, there were at least, I don't know if they did some groundwork before these pronouncements were made. People unanimously agreed we should go to the Town Council. But now if you come to Arua city, luckily enough, they had their municipality where they are able to at least come there and they and sit under that said. So if you move to a rural district, it looks funny. That's why I said it looks funny is at one point you see posters put by the RDC, the LC5 that we're locating. We are starting to move to the district headquarters. You find someone is seated under the shed for a few hours and they post on Facebook that I'm already in my district. And yet other departments, the major departments that are running the district, including the finance, education, all the technocrats are seated in a rural city. So what perturbs me is when this issue came before the council, can the district relocate? Now the debate came in. Initially in 2008, there was also a debate about where rural district headquarters. They were thinking about Vura district. So where the headquarters should be, they thought of putting it in Yarivu sub-county headquarters. So in 2012, this was also affirmed by the entire council. Now when it reached 2021, the politics came in. When new leaders came in, people started pushing here and there, left and right, where should it be? You know the benefits of hosting the district headquarters.
Yeah.
A lot of services come to you. Closer. You have security, you have what. All the improved services mostly come this side. So that debate was so high that it made even councillors to go on to vote. But now we have these groups that are coming up to petition. I'm meant to understand that the court is being ruled, so we may not dive much into this.
Okay.
There are communities that are petitioning this decision. There were sub-counties that merged, and they went also petitioned this. So does it mean the district is not relocating? How will this affect services in the city? So this is what we are following up on. But if you look at the Ministry of Local Government, they made it clear recently that they're already embarking on giving money for the entities that are not having issues with their headquarters to start on building them. One of the entities that received at least part of the startup funds was the Terego district. But now they are moving forward to fund the cities, the regional cities, to start also putting their structures.
Okay.
But if you look at Arua district, when I tried to ask further whether there's hope for them to receive some money, it was pronounced clearly that they have to first ionize the issues to do it where they're supposed to be. Okay. So that's where the issue, the whole story is still.
All right, dear viewer, these are journalistic minds. We are trying to make sense of what is currently happening between Arua city and Arua district. Why is it Arua district is not moving away from the city? And you have to know that, as my colleague Dramadri did mention, that Arua city, Arua district and Terego district, these were administrative units that were created by Act of Parliament in 2020. And so Terego took a swift decision to move faster to Leju Town Council, currently where Terego district headquarters sit. Meanwhile, for Arua district, they did not make any step to move away, apart from politicians are trying to post themselves, at the proposed, headquarters that the district is supposed to sit, and that is what you need to know in regards to what is currently happening. We are still waiting. There was the issues to do with the issuing of the guidelines, the operational guidelines for these newly created administrative units, but the Ministry of Local Government has not yet done that, and so these are some of the issues that the leadership of Arua district are trying to base their argument on. Then secondly, issues to do with the asset sharing, as he did mention, much as he did not really allude much in regards to the asset sharing. One of the biggest obstacles that are really blocking Arua district to move away from the city is the issue to do with the immovable, that is assets. Are talking about land, because Arua district is claiming that the lands were registered in the name of Arua district, and so they cannot really just leave the land like that without
maybe I want to clear something.
Clear legal issues in regards to that.
Yes, I want to clear something little about the operational guidelines. This recently came in 2022. The operational guidelines for the cities came in. So there's no way somebody is going to say we don't have guidelines to operate. How are they using the resources as of now? Because government is funding them. How are they using them? How are they implementing these projects? So that is one thing we need to understand. These guidelines came. If somebody is not really working upon them, then it's the issue of the entity. So the other issue that is still needed to be probed further is the issue of the sharing of assets. The district claims they were stopped by Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, especially on the issues to do with sharing of assets, including the liabilities. The liabilities I'm talking about are the files, the land application files that were submitted to Arua district by then. IVE, which was under Arua district,
yes,
had over 7,000 files. So up to now, these people are still looking for where they can get their files from, because the district is saying we have already gotten revenue from these people. Then the city is saying that revenue belongs to us. There's no way the district will preside over the activities of this.
But now, in a situation where the district received the money and used the money, and what should the district do?
That is something that the ministry has to clarify, because if you are sharing the assets, meaning liabilities are supposed to also go with it.
There are those liabilities that has to move with.
Do I have to vomit the money I got from him?
And so these are some of the issues. Yeah, to some persons they might look minor, but they're very, very serious legal matters that need to be properly handled by these entities that have been created. If not, it will really breed what we call conflict of interest that will really come about. And so we really implore the responsible ministries to really, properly advise the different administrative units that have been created, more especially here in Arua district, Arua city, and seeing that the two administrative units, they really work together to see that service delivery is really to its peak in regards to offering the services to the people. Away from that, Dramadri, there has been this issue of according to the letter written by Ministry of Education, that teachers who are certificate holders should make sure they upgrade. And remember, we are implementing what we call the national teacher policy in place, having teachers upgraded, and they gave a period of 10 years to see that the teachers upgrade. The primary school teachers should be able to attain degree, and then the secondary school teachers should also be able to attain degree in that field of their studies. And currently there was a letter that was issued on 5th of July 2020. It was signed by the permanent secretary, that is a Ministry of Education, advising the chief administrative officers, the town clerks of the different administrative units that we do have, to carefully advise the teachers. And the content of the letter reads that the teachers who are currently teaching with grade 3 certificate should be able to go for diploma. And if you are a service teacher, you have to go for weekend studies. And if you have never been employed but you have grade 3 certificates, you have to really go for full time. Do you think this is fair, this kind of advice fair in regards to helping and supporting these teachers as far as the upgrades are really concerned?
Now, I want to appreciate government towards the efforts of improving education quality. That's one plus that the government has to take from the members of public. First of all, if there are teachers who really do not have that capability of handling the learners, it is very hard. I want to say when
they have the capability. They went through the teaching institutions. I want
to share this experience. First of all, initially we didn't have nursery schools, but now we have nursery schools.
The early childhood.
Yes, those. Yeah, they describe them in those terminologies. But now, if you look at the current set of learners that teachers are handling, these .com learners now, people who are able to watch everything. Even what you are teaching here, a child might have already known what you are teaching. I want to share an experience. I went to do a rough survey of how schools are trying to, within their means, improve performance. Now, when I interacted with a few of the learners, one of them told me their teachers are not serious. And this was written, that the teachers are not serious, because for us as journalists, we're not supposed to interview these children. I told them, please don't write your names, write for me the issues that are affecting your education. Somebody told me the teachers are not serious, especially the debate teachers. So that's why they are not speaking English very well. So you will come to this and say, is it not enough for these teachers to go for further studies? But now the question comes back, how near are these institutions? If we are saying these teachers who are already serving should go for weekends, how accessible are these schools for these teachers? A teacher is in Obonge, we have NTC on this side, in Arua. And then, how long does this teacher take to come here? Now, after finishing maybe lectures on weekend, on Sunday, on Monday is expected by 8 in class.
To be in class. No?
So this teacher, will he report in time? So these are the things. Initially, before this letter came in, there was also a letter that all teachers should upgrade to degree. Now teachers became notorious. It was hard for education officers to handle these teachers. I had an interaction with the education officer of Terego district. He told me teachers, most of them are bringing those requests for going to school. Study leaves, most of them are requesting for this. But who are these who are going to be handling the learners if the teachers all want to go for study leaves? So that's one thing we need to also
should we say that the government of the Republic of Uganda is not well prepared to really roll out this particular national teachers policy that is currently being talked about? Because you have to know that these teachers have to continue teaching because they're being paid by government of the Republic of Uganda. Yeah, you might advise them to go for that is a long distance, maybe during holidays. But now the aspect of the money aspect comes in. You understand? And also the issues to do with the closeness of these, learning institutions and how equipped they are. Currently in Westnile, we only have one for the primary school teachers, apart from Muni, that will be able to offer that is a diploma for a degree now for the primary school teachers. Because currently Ruako PTC is having students who are studying a diploma, in primary education. And then the NTC is going to handle that is the primary school teachers who wants to do degree. And now you see that kind of complication that has really come in. And so I think your advice is a good one when you want the serving teachers to enroll for weekend. And how close are these facilities for these teachers so that they really catch up with the rest of the teachers in other parts of the country? And then also those that have never been employed to go back to school, where are they getting the money from? If they struggle a lot even to attain their certificate. And so these are some of the issues that we also, ask for your opinion. If you're watching us using that is YouTube, we have a comment box. You can drop in your comments as well. And those who are catching us live on Facebook, you can as well drop your comments right there. We do appreciate those who are catching us live on that is Zuko Satellite channel 073 and also StarTimes channel 477. We do appreciate you very much for joining us this morning. We are making sense of some of the issues that you need to understand. Yes, still in regards to education in Westnile, what can you make of the status of education in Westnile sub-region compared to other regions that we have in this country? I know that you have been able to move a lot to other regions that we have in this country, and with the journalistic mind you have been able to compare notes in regards to education in Westnile and education in other parts of this country, Uganda.
For me, before I actually make these comments, I want the producer to at least bring for us some of these issues that we were able to spot, and then especially in relation to education in the region. First of all, I want to say we are doing bad. We are doing bad in terms of the quality of education that we're pulling out for our learners.
Okay.
Secondly, the approach to education now
is different.
Different in terms of the learning aids, in terms of the structures that we have, in terms of the quality of the children we parents are producing, in terms of the changing technology. If you look at right now the syllabus that we are handling, most of it is pupil-led, the children-led.
The curriculum seems to be different now.
The curriculum has changed. Now, amidst that, we have this issue of poverty, which the region is still battling. Now, parents are not ready to afford some of these gadgets. And actual parents do not also understand the nitty-gritties of children moving with some of these gadgets. For instance, I moved to one of the schools in this refugee settlement. The refugees were telling us that partners have given them these equipments. But if you look at the child of the host community, you wonder what is happening.
Before you continue, you reminded me the RWC of that is Eden Zone in Rhino Camp Refugee Settlement. Do you know what the guy said when the Rhino Camp Refugee Settlement was celebrating, and that is the World Refugee Day, that was on 20th. The gentleman did say that currently, if you have to go to the schools that we have in the settlements, majority are the refugees. The few hosting communities, they also do study there. But you know what? He made another comparison. If you have to go to disco halls, there are very many nationals than the refugees. You can really continue.
Those are some of the issues. But we need to work upon our policy, the policy, the refugee policy, where it describes refugee hosting, maybe entity or district or sub-county. It zeroes down to the sub-counties instead of handling the whole district. But also these partners, are we watching them? Are they implementing what they are submitting to the offices, the offices,
the OPM and also the UNHCR?
Yes. First of all, when I interacted with a few children who are studying in some of these secondary schools, the host community, you find that the host community children are paying fees. 170 something. A refugee is sponsored. And these are all children within the same sub-county. What are we doing? Are we benefiting from this? Much yes, we are showing hospitality. The person who is giving should be also receiving something. That's one thing. Our teachers, the way we present ourselves to these learners, makes them perceive whatever you're going to deliver.
Okay. That starts right from your dressing code and the way you conduct yourself, the kind of language that you use, and also the English that you speak to these learners also matters a lot. If my producer can really give us some of the pictures depicting what we have in West Nile when we are talking about the education system, you will be able to understand from these pictures that the producers will be overlaying for us to get to understand the kind of education system that we have here in our country, Uganda. All right, that is one of the schools that we do have here in West Nile, and my brother Frederick Dramadri can really be giving us a brief highlight about these particular pictures that we are seeing here.
And the person you are seeing standing is the chairperson Education Policy Review Commission. Okay. I want to tell you when we reached this school.
And the name of the school?
This school is called Obibo Nursery and Primary School.
Which sub-county?
This is in Biliafe sub-county in Terego district.
Just a stone throw from here.
Just
from the city.
And the refugee hosting district. So this is how the hosting community learners are learning. In a closed room. This is a church, by the way. All the children are here in this church. The first class you have seen is P5, followed by P4. This teacher is handling P4. Then the other side, let's move. Yeah, where that journalist is, behind that journalist, that is P3. Then this side. So
if we are to listen to what these people are doing,
so if the producer can give us the audio for whatever transactions that were happening in this exchange, that has been turned to be a classroom. For your information, the videos were not taken from Democratic Republic of Congo. These videos were taken right here in West Nile from Biliafe sub-county in Terego district. And let us have more and we listen to kind of conversations, kind of teachings that are going on in a church here in Uganda. All right, oh my God, what kind of learning is this? And this is in Uganda. You might be thinking that I'm being sarcastic here, but it really, it burdens my heart when we talk about the quality of education and the quality of the human resource that we are going to have in the future. And it is taking place in a district that has got structures right from the grassroots up to the national level. It's quite unfortunate. Biliafe is where? Is it Terego East or Terego West?
This is Terego West constituency.
This is where Honorable
this is where Honorable Joel left.
So that's Terego West.
Yes, and they really wonder whether these children are understanding anything.
And have the leaders gotten interested in this?
I want to tell you.
Have they ever visited? Do they have a visitor book? And they have really, you have seen that these leaders that we have in this district were able to, register, including the inspector of schools.
I want to tell you the inspector of schools was able to tell us that this is our second time of going to that place.
Our second time.
Second time. Because this school
is
close to the border of Madio Kolo district. So if you look at the education department itself in the district, they have one vehicle which is actually for the chairman, the district chairman. So it is hard for these people to also move to inspect some of these schools.
And then what are they doing?
Now, what he told me was...
What are they inspecting?
What he told me was they are using motorcycles, bodabodas, they hire bodabodas. So you wonder if we have the swarm of partners, the implementing partners in this kind of institutions, in this kind of districts. Why can't we prioritize education? Now, if you go to health, the same issue.
Apart from partners, so leave the partners there.
Yes.
Let's handle. We are talking about government of the Republic of Uganda. The children are citizens of the Republic of Uganda. The country that has been in existence after the colonial power for how many years? From 1962.
Mind you, it's not about how far the country has existed.
It's about
we also have the UPE, which is on.
Yeah, from 1997.
Yes, but we have continued to praise enrollment.
Oh. I think Minister of Education should get interested in this school. And if possible, if the Minister of Education has a schedule to come to West Nile, I would advise those who would be, organizing a cabin, please, let us host Minister of Education in that school.
Now, if you move to this school, you will realize that the head teacher is a senior 4 leaver. I don't know if he completed, but that's what we're getting.
The two words.
He's a senior for liver, but I don't know if he completed.
Dropout and liver, there are two differences.
So he's somewhere there, but he reached senior for. That's what I can confirm.
But he went to
the rest of the teachers. The rest of the teachers, P7, P6, Senior 3, Senior 2, and so on and so on, we'll be able to listen to one of the teachers.
If I produce
now, if you listen to that teacher, if they cannot even construct a sentence up to the dot, now, how do you think this learner will be able to compete with these other ones who are seated upstairs and they are learning?
My producer, start from the video of the classroom and then give us the video of the teacher, and then we move in that direction so that we get to understand and feel what these learners are going through. And they have their colleagues here in town, in different towns that we have in this country, preparing to sit for the same examination that these learners who are studying in one church, also preparing to sit for. Let's have the video of the classroom and the teacher later on. Good morning.
I'm a church. I'm a teacher of Obivu Nursery School.
Okay, so what are the challenges you face in teaching in this kind of classroom?
The challenge I face is the children they are not understanding what we are teaching is very well. They are not understanding.
Why is it?
Why is it that they're not failing?
Class like this one is shouting, the other one is shouting. Could it be a reason?
Yeah, that is the reason. We are same class.
You put it in a sentence.
The problem we are facing is we are the children are the same class, but they are not understanding very well. That is the problem.
So how do you prefer these classrooms to be allocated?
But the prefer of classroom is a problem because we are not the other class. They are not here. We are all same room.
Okay. So what appeal do you have for the government?
What do you want the government to do for this school?
All right, it is quite unfortunate that we are talking about the education system in our country, Uganda, and as NRM boasts of 30 plus years of taking this government through social economic transformation, the education sector still remains to be taken care of, and these are the children that we have here in Westnile, and they are also looking forward to becoming those that are studying from Nabisusa, talking about Namiliango, talking about those Kampala parent schools and the schools we have here in Arua City. Shall we reach that equity level when we are talking about education in this country? It's quite unfortunate.
Oringi, you can
it
now
is really at breaking, and it is really so sudden. Yeah, seeing the learners sitting on stones. You understand? And this is a church, not even a classroom. You understand? And I think, how did the members of the education review commission felt when they got themselves in that state of quagmire of learning?
It was so quite unfortunate, but this was a very good learning point as we went to this school. When we tried to ask them about the kind of curriculum they are designing, do they think it will favor the rural schools as per what we saw? There were a lot of hurdles in answering this question. Because if you look at, first of all, the infrastructure for the children to learn is not adequate. If you look at now with the COVID impact, the overwhelming number of children in classes and so on, this is quite immense, and it is so harsh that districts could not even now contain some of these things. It is at policy level that we need to look at a way of decontesting these learners so that they are able to pick what the teachers are teaching them. And two, when the video was towards the end, you realize that the Education Service Policy Review Commission chairperson was quite confused. You could see the way he was coming out. He was quite confused. He didn't know what actually what he was doing.
I heard that he was able to ask how much a desk.
He was asking the inspector of schools how much a desk is, but he wanted to put a desk in the church. Now you want to first look at how these children are seated instead of addressing the issues of are they really understanding what they're teaching? Now, if you have desks in this church, it's okay. Let's assume you have bought the desks. So how do you think these children will be able to learn from all these corners? The other side is singing, the other side is pronouncing something, the other side the teacher is pressing to explain something, and then the other side they are also singing. So
7 classes in one.
Not 7. That is from nursery, baby class to P7. So there are 9 classes. Virtually, there are actually 11 classes in a room.
What a school.
This kind of thing, we will not go far. And the quality of education we will have will not be that which will give us joy in the near future. We will not have ambassadors to be sent out because people will not really do much. Or else we will have the children of the Chibugas, the other side, who are able to progress, and this side, other regions will be.
And should we say that those learners are being prepared to become security guards for those students who are studying from these good schools that we have in this country?
Maybe that's why most of the adverts for security guards is focusing towards northern region, because we have little knowledge.
All right, everyone
be occupying public offices and so on and so on. But if you look at most of these institutions, even those that started in the early 1950s and so on, they continue to have dilapidated structures. But are we managing the available structures that we already have? The education stakeholders needed to come in. Now we have OB associations, OGs, and so on and so on. Can we also come in and look at some of the issues of infrastructure? Because I'm meant to understand that school has produced teachers. Okay? That school has produced.
For how long has the school been in existence? I want to understand that. I'm trying to imagine here that maybe the school has started just a day. You people, you went for this.
The teachers are the UT teachers that we're talking about, the untrained teachers who have come back. Those are the OBs of the school.
And you're telling me that the school has been in existence for over 10 years.
It has stayed over 10 years.
Here in Uganda.
In Uganda.
They were not teaching from DRC or South Sudan.
This was still under. It started before even Terego was created. Even Mariupol was created. So it was under the Terego County by then. So if you look at the education system around, we need a lot. Okay. We need a lot. Not only looking at digitalizing everything, but let's first look at putting infrastructure before we go to these other issues of changing curriculum here and there, when our parents are already overwhelmed with these certain things that have been there. Now, if you look at also the issue of the multi-sectoral food security and the nutrition program that was rolled recently to keep learners in schools. move to some of these schools, you'll not get those things there.
But money keeps coming.
But the project has not ended. It's
And
about
money
to
keeps
end.
coming.
Money keeps coming.
I can remember
But
it was launched in 2018. I can remember.
Yes,
When,
you don't know where
the
this
first, the
has
first
gone.
lady was able to traverse the country, and I can remember vividly. She was even able to come to Arua, and they had a talk show on one of the radio stations, encouraging parents, to support their children with something to eat when they're in school. And because of that, the multi-sectoral food security program was enrolled in different primary schools, and government of the Republic of Uganda keep committing money to see that this program is really well achieved. And so, dear viewer, that is what we have prepared for you this morning in regards to education in our country, Uganda. I know you might be having your personal opinions that you would love to share with us. You can go to our comment box that is on YouTube or Facebook and drop your comments, and we shall also be able to sample your comments right there. If not, you can as well follow Westnile Television, the Twitter handle, and also other platforms, and have the conversation continue. And you can personally follow my Twitter handle, Oringi Francis 11, and that is my personal Twitter handle, and Facebook, Oringi Denis, and we can continue with the conversation as well. My brother Dramadri Frederick, he has his also personal Twitter handle and also Facebook. You can also follow him right there and to have a conversation. If you want to have if you want to give support to really help these learners and this school, you can as well reach Westnile Television, and we can see how we can engage and support these learners. I feel really, heartbroken to see my colleague human beings being, taken through such kind of life, yet we have a full system in place in our country, Uganda. We have not come back from war. We came back from war a long time ago. We have been in this country peacefully for over 30 years, and so we cannot really continue to have such structures in existence, and people think that things are all well. Things are not all well if we still have such kind of learning environment in existence, and those who are in authority do not mind about the lives of those who also want to be like them in future. And now, when we talk about role model, how will you explain to these learners that I am a role model? I went to this school. I attained this degree.
It's quite difficult now.
It's quite difficult. Let's go for a break, and when we come back, we still have more for you, and we shall be diving into some of the stalled government projects in Westnile and how much government of the Republic of Uganda has been able to spend on some of the projects that cannot even now be traced, including the bridges and road construction works that we have in Westnile. My name is Denis Oringi, and I'm together with Frederick Dramadri making sense of some of the stories that you have never come across. And it is only through Westnile Television that you'll be able to get those stories, and you have your opinions shaped in regards to such stories. Good morning.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region. Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Westnile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, we'll be back, and thank you very much for joining us. And for those who are catching us live using different platforms, we do appreciate you very much. And for those who are dropping in the comments, in the comment box, we also do appreciate you very much. We shall be able to sample your comments one by one. And if my producer can begin dropping us some of the comments that have been dropped right there in regards to the state of education in Western Sub-Region. For your information, Frederick Dramadri, we are happy that we do have the State Minister for Primary Education who hail from Westnile. And that's none other than the woman member of parliament for that is Moyo District, Honorable Moriko Kadushu, who is the State Minister for Primary Education. And here we are now talking about the poor state of education in Western Sub-Region. Should we say that something somewhere is not going right, that need to be worked on, so
definitely
we can have a proper education system in the region and things are put in the right place. And I would love to interest the State Minister for Primary Education, Dr. Moriko Kadushu, to get interested and come to visit this particular school, so that when they sit in their boardroom and also in the cabinet, she can really tell the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency, sir, we need to wake up, because there are schools that seem not to be in Uganda, but they are here in Uganda.
Let me add on the issue of the state ministers that we have.
Yes,
we are blessed to have ministers, state ministers in this region. But my question has always been, what are the roles that they play in these ministries? Do they really have that chance to do oversight? Okay, some of the comments already popping in. Are they really doing that oversight?
So let's have the comments read, and then we have David Odongo, who said, but how can you combine the entire school in one classroom? Really? No.
That is not right. I want to tell you, this person is really feeling what I did. When I moved to this school, I saw the block was so big. I thought maybe there we have
the
only
producer did not reflect the classroom apart from the church, because I know there is a classroom specifically for these learners apart from the church. The church,
it looks like a nest of a bird.
Then Fredox has the comment right there, and he says that really the Ministry of Education, they are really, this is ministers of education in West Nile are sleeping. We need to wake up. This is really, I think he wanted to continue writing, but I think the emotion
does means it continues.
The emotion
we have also the caucus, the West Nile Parliamentary Caucus. What are the things these people are discussing in over time? But also we have West Nile local government association. There. Every time they are producing the status quo.
Now there's also Northern Uganda Regional Development Forum.
They're also they're all time every time releasing these things annually. But we have never seen the MPs attending their meetings. If local governments are sitting together to come for a common cause, why can the MPs come in person? Every time you are saying, my apologies, I'm there committed for a committee meeting. Committee meeting for what? Did you go for committee meetings? First of all, you went to represent the people. First of all, look at the people before you go to look at the issues of the committees.
We have another comment.
After understanding the issues from the people, you'll be able to go and present these issues in the committee meetings that you're talking about.
We have another comment right there. This is still from Fredox. He says that I'm so confused. The teacher is supposed to be a housekeeper. Seriously?
That's right.
And then David Odongo came back and say, really? And then here the so-called teacher, really?
I'm sorry, it's based we had. So
David, don't go to get a friends and also others who have dropped in their comments. We do appreciate you very much. And thank you very much for always following Westnile Television. You too can do the same. And I know those who are catching us live using the Star Times channel 477 and also Zuku channel satellite, that is a 0073. You would love to comment, but it might be very hard for you because we are not having a direct phone calls with you and also direct message. You can go to our YouTube page and drop your comments right there, or Facebook page, drop your comments, and we shall be able to sample your comments right there for you. All right, I'm moving away from the issues to do with education. Let's get to issues to do with infrastructural development, and this time around we want to talk about roads and bridges. And you have to know that MATIF, that is the Ministry of Agriculture, was able to really bless some of the districts under what we call the agricultural cluster development program that has been rolled out in some of the districts that we have in Westnile, and Marasha district together with Arua district. These are some of the beneficiaries, and I know of Nebi district, and there was a time, and Pakwash also. There are bridges that were supposed to be undertaken by Ministry of Agriculture under this SCPD SCDP project that have stalled. You were able to do one of the stories in regards to abandoned bridge construction site in Marasha district. Can you give us more highlights in that regards of the story that you were able to do?
First of all, when we talk about the bridges, the stalled bridges, it's not about the bridges. Under this project, there were a number of components. First of all, look at the factories, the processing plants,
value addition facilities, the
processing plants that were for cassava chips. Most of these, if you go to them right now, you will not find any cassava being processed in these factories. So it raises the question, what is our staple food? What are we growing? What are we getting money for? Are we retaining money in West Nile? Could that not be one of the reasons why we're poor? So government has actually done a lot in this, but I think the other component of bridge that you talked about has really been done to the worst, because this project was tagged to be a hybrid project. So by definition, a hybrid project, according to what is practically done, is that the project will be implemented by central government, and then local governments just go there to do oversight when central government is coming to monitor the program. So this has been a challenging thing for our local governments. I would love to see that the decentralization that we're talking about should be brought to the practical bit, where local governments are able to source some of these contractors themselves. They are able to manage the resources themselves, because now we have auditors everywhere. At the district, the internal auditors are there. We have the park. Then we have also IGG, who is also in the investigation. We have others, auditors general, talk about them. So they are all there. Should we still not trust the local governments to handle certain projects?
The hybrid projects.
Yes, the so-called hybrid projects. These are the most projects that have not really been blessed, and they don't have...
And they're in billions.
They are in billions, they are not in millions. First of all, the bridge that collapsed was 1.6 billion. And what was done there was just casting the floor down there.
The basement.
The basement. This was done for 2 months. After that, the contractor raised a certificate, and this was not honored up to now. Now the contract period expired last year. Up to now, there is no extension. I'm meant to understand the contractor has raised also a letter to sue Ministry of Agriculture because his contract has expired and it has not been renewed. Then the monies he was demanding were not given. So that is one issue that has come in that. So if we come to these factories, this project, I meant to understand that this was something that will benefit the local farmers. If we're moving towards the local economic development, where we're able to use the local resources to generate money ourselves, promote our local markets, promote our raw materials, and we process them, which are exported outside for us to get money. If we're to mean that independency of our own, doing from whatever we have, instead of maybe getting investors from outside, we'll be able to finance our country ourselves. So now that farmers have failed to manage these things, what is the next step? So that is one thing we need to understand as stakeholders. In Maracha, the district chairman was able to tell me that the farmers are asking again government to give them money to also buy cassava from from DRC to be processed here. So you wonder sometimes why we should be doing things like that when government is trying to invest.
And where is the bottlenecks? Where is the problem? Because it is not only in Marasha that we are seeing the value addition facilities, stalling. Recently, in a meeting that was organized in Gulu, the meeting was called by the Chief Operation Wealth Creation Coordinator, Salim Saleh, and the meeting was at Gulu University. The leaders from Westnile were tasked to come out with the number of value addition facilities that we do have in the region and their status as we talk right now, and also issues to do with the land that has been titled and the land that has not been titled, and so that government will be able to understand. Now, if people have the facilities and they are not making good use of facilities, what should be the next plan? Should we say that as a region, as Western region, we are not doing enough in as far as embracing the commercial agriculture is concerned? Because it reminds me of the value addition facility that we have in Arua City, that since its commissioning by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in 2020, up to now, the facility has not really even produced a ton of maize flour.
The first hiccup here is the land tenure system that we have in this region, where my land said to be mine by the virtue of being a clan member. I will have to, maybe I have 3 children, I have to split this. You see that? So it is hard for us to raise that magnitude of raw materials to be taken to these factories. Then too, if you look at also the mobilization strategy in your region here, there's a lot to do with politics. There's a lot. Technocrats are saying this project is like this is how it is going to run, but you realize that most times the politicians tend to see how me personally I'm going to benefit. How am I going to tap the voter? So this brings that bridge between, first of all, if you look at, for example, let's talk about the districts. When a district is created, you realize that somebody will say, I'm the one who lobbied for this district. You understand? And then this is something there in government's plan that we are going to decentralize. It is there. But people come down here and they say, I'm the one who lobbied this district, and if it was not for my sake, if it was not because of me, we will not have this district. So these are the issues we need to look at, so that they want to capture the mind of the local person, so that he is able to go back to maybe parliament or that level he wants to attain. But this is something which is bad. Most of them in this region, I've seen them, they are demobilizing the communities. You separate them. Others are perceiving the right things from the technocrats, but now when you come with that political mind and you don't have the facts, please, can you restrain from that? Can they move away from, if a technocrat has not told you what this is meant for, can you keep quiet and first get the rightful information before you disseminate the wrong information? This is because we went to one of the schools here in the Arua district, in the County. A politician went there and they promised that next year we're bringing you new desks, because that school has only 68 desks. The entire school, which has 2,800 learners. So the politician went there and said, okay, now we're bringing new desks and we're going to construct for you one new block. And went with the DO and said the DO should reaffirm his statement. And the DO was like, yeah, we have it in plan. That was what he said. So the guy was like, it is coming this financial year. People waited for that financial year. Things did not work out. But now they're saying these politicians have eaten the money. That's why you are roofing your house newly and so on. So those are the things. Now, if the producer can project that bridge, the status of that bridge, you realize that that bridge is strategical because the other side of the communities are the ones who grow more of the food crops. Then the institutions, the schools are the other side. So towards the other side, look at this, how these mothers are passing. So it looks very bad when you look at some of these things.
It's quite unfortunate, right?
One person drowned in this and they died. So that was one unfortunate thing.
And this is connecting, villages there.
This is connecting sub-counties.
Sub-counties.
Yes. Now, that is the status. You can pause it there a bit. Yeah. What is left there, what the guy, the contractor has been able to do is what he has put there. So his demand
and money has been eaten. Should we say the government did not release the money, or somebody is sitting on this money, or somebody sat on this money?
I think we need to investigate the Ministry of Agriculture in these hybrid projects. This is not the only bridge that has maybe sold.
This one
in Ero district, we also have one. In the Pakwach, we also have one. So these are the issues we need further.
And for your information, tomorrow 20th there's going to be a community baraza.
Now look at that. That is the status. That is how far the contractor was able to go.
Tomorrow in Pakwach there's going to be a community baraza. And that has been organized by the Office of the Prime Minister. And I believe that the people of Pakwach, you need to come in big numbers and ask necessary questions in regards to
service delivery. First of all.
Service delivery. The other time you were able to attend the community baraza in Wapawar, that is in Madiokoro district. Maybe a quick one before we get into other issues that we do have this morning. What were some of the issues that were raised by the community of Madiokoro?
First of all, the issues that came up in that community baraza. First of all, the technocrats that we have employed in these local governments do not want to stay at their duty stations. Take for example, there was a story I did about that when the staff, the technical staff, were here at Gil Petrol Station in Arua City, waiting for the vehicle to come and pick them. So how far do you have to operate like that when you already have operated for more than 4 years as a district? So it brings down the issues of accountability. Even Auditor General raised a query about 200 million something, which was unaccounted for. So politicians suspected this money could have been used for fuel. So that's why they failed to account for it. There was no way they would say we used this much for ferrying staff. That is not there in the plan. So it is something that we need to understand. Two, the staff report to work late. Many times they miss. So these are things we need to address in local governments if we want to deliver services.
All right, out of the meeting that was in Gulu with the Chief Operation Well Coordinator, the leaders who attended this meeting came out with under thematic area 2 storage, post-harvesting, handling and value addition facility. Let me give you this data and current status. Now, under storage, post-harvesting, post-harvest handling and value addition, Arua district has 24 stores. Storage capacity of 495, and then metric tons, Then powered? No, it has not been powered. Water supply? Nothing. And then none is functioning out of the 24. These were statistics and data given by the leaders from Arua districts. Arua City.
Yes.
Arua City reported that they have 8 storage facilities.
at the capacity of 150,000 metric tons. None of them has been powered. Only 3 with water supply. Then only 1 that is functional. And we need to investigate and find out.
Which one is that?
Which one is that one that is functional?
It could be a private thing. You may never know.
If not...
I don't understand that, but
and then
we'll check.
Mario Kolo reported that they have 65 storage facilities and having the capacity of the 67,000 metric tons.
So how many are working?
Powered, none. Water supply, none. Then only 4 are working. And then Terego district reported that they have 46 number of stores. Storage capacity, the technical people together with the political leaders from the district could not really estimate. And then none has been powered, none has been connected to water supply, and then they have reported here that only none is functioning.
maybe before you move to others, we need to understand when these projects are brought to these districts, who are these particulars who pretend to be the ones who are launching these projects? Who are these ones who are commissioning them? Do they look at these parameters? Are they, now, if you are commissioning a project, meaning you are given the leeway for it to start working, did you check on some of these things that were necessary for a factory to start working? Like talk about power, talk about water, talk about also the sewage management in this kind of industries. But one other thing that I have seen in establishing some of these things is people don't want to give themselves time to understand the physical development plans of these institutions. Which ones are our industrial zones? Which ones are our settlement places and so on? We have seen this trickle down to the impacts of environmental degradation, the issues of... So these are things that we need to look at. So if we are launching projects, I'm meant to understand that there are projects that are already not launched, not commissioned, but they're working. They have been handed over in a rural city here. So we need to really be serious on the investments that the government is putting for, if we're to get the desired goals that we set.
All right. Before we get out of the studio, because our time is fast spent at exactly 9 a.m., we have to be out because next will be the Business Bank right here on Western Television. Maybe your parting shots before we leave the studio and go for other assignments that we have ahead of us.
Basically, I want to appreciate our viewers who are able to comment, who are able to take their time to also contribute to the development of the country. We need to now look at the aspects of corruption in these issues, the aspects of, much as we have the institutions, but the institutions are not yet enough. We will talk about their capacity to hold the issues of corruption in the country in the next segments to come. But the viewers, I appreciate you very much for having participated, whether through the comments, through the ways you wanted to maybe come to the show, but we are not able to use all the ways. But next time we'll be able to improvise some of the manual systems using the calls, the what, and this,
so that you're able to participate. This show, the KOKOLIRIKO Live on Western Television, we discuss social, economic, and political issues, and we always, ask questions to inform those in authority to always really do the needful to help the community improve, because all of us, we are looking towards having a community, empowered and come out of poverty, because that is the disease that is now killing us as a region, West Nile. And that's why I was able to bring the aspect of the storage facilities that we do have. Now, if we have such number of storage facilities in the region and they are not functioning, what need to be done? And where can we start from? And what conversations should we have currently as we talk right now? For your information, you have to know that for the last 10 years, Operation Wealth Creation has been giving inputs to the farmers. And now Operation Wealth Creation now
now is now focusing on how can they add value to what they were able to give to the farmers. And they believe 10 years down the road, the mango seedlings that they were able to give should now be bearing what we call fruits, and they should be now taken to the factories that can really turn these mangoes into juice. And then those who have been into coffee, they're able now to start taking the coffee and then add value. And now they are talking about the value addition, because that is now where the government of the Republic of Uganda is focusing on. Even President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, His Excellency, the other time when he came to West Nile, he was able to push the good news of value addition and commercialization of agriculture, moving away from subsistence to commercial agriculture. Dear viewer, for those that we have stepped on your toes, we do we'll say that you can forgive us, because we are here to check and balance and see that things really move in the right direction. And we call upon the members of the public always to put their eye on the projects that are being implemented by government and even by civil society organizations, because we have to balance all of these partners that are also contributing towards the development of the nation, Uganda. My name is Denis Oringi, and it is 1 minute to the top of the hour of 9 a.m. right here on Westnile Television. We are out of here. Catch me again tomorrow at exactly 7 a.m. in the morning for the program, the KOKOLIRIKO Live on Westnile Television. Other programs on Westnile Television will be following suit. And thank you very much, Frederick, for joining me this morning. You have energized me, and you have helped viewer also to get to understand some of the issues that we have in Western sub-region, and also issues that we have in our country, Uganda. Let's continue following the development using different social media platforms for Western Television. And also, personally, you can follow me on my Twitter handle, Oringi Francis 11, and that is my personal Twitter handle. And we continue with conversations that we do have in this region, West Nile, Uganda. Good morning.